My name is Matthew LaPlante, and I'm a board member with the Reaching at Promise Student Association. And this year for the Alternative Accountability Policy Forum, we wanted to ask people what motivates them to come year after year to this conference, what they're bringing away from it, and what they're learning and sharing with other people.
We have a very unique mission, and it's not always a popular mission, and that's to recover and re-engage kids that are disengaged. It early on became very clear that we needed a collective group of like-minded people to do that work.
I love the fact that I am re-engaged to continue to fight this fight and making sure that kids who don't necessarily look like the norm reference group have access to education, and most importantly, know that we care.
I keep coming back because we do not have an accountability system that matches our educational opportunities.
When you come to a conference like RAPSA, where you're sharing stories with other folks who are doing similar work and hearing the successes that they are encountering at their sites, it reaffirms that I'm not alone in the work and that people individually are contributing to moving things forward.
Being on that panel and having that moment together and that realization that we each have a strength that we need to be leveraging in pursuit of results for young people. It was sort of like a catalytic moment. We'd known each other, we would have kept talking, and maybe a year later, we would have come to the same conclusion. Sort of that shared space and that shared moment was like, kind of a spark to say, let's do this now, we don't have time to wait.
And just being here and talking to a couple people, I have found out that there's research that supports that we should be doing it totally differently. And so now I can get that research from them and take that back to our State Department of Ed and our legislators and say, listen, we need to tweak this, and here's evidence of why you need to do it. And
the research that one of my colleagues who comes to this conference every year, Jody Ernst, has done on growth rates among kids who are in alternative settings, not being the same as we see for kids who are in more traditional settings. That was a big aha, because a lot of the push in this area has been for growth as the thing that's going to fix accountability policy.
I think people come into these conversations with a lot of preconceived notions about what students are or are not capable of, depending on where they grew up or what circumstances surround them. And we have these ideas that because students face those things, that they're not capable of achieving the same things as other students.
But then we recognize that they need supports, they need an innovative approach towards education, and they need a sense of social justice to really have it, bring it full circle and have it make sense for them.
Our young people are our future, and currently there are huge equity gaps in this country for at-promise students. And so what drew me to this conference was because I've been doing research in this arena for about 6 years now, but what I find most often is that there's such a disconnect between research, practice, and policy. And so I think that the Alternative Accountability Policy Forum is a great forum for bringing together these various stakeholders that are all doing work with this population and all making great strides, but also having a number of challenges that could be sort of met and answered by sort of strategies that other stakeholders have developed for working with these students. And so there's a lot that we can all learn from one another, and diversity in general just breeds innovation. And so bringing together as many perspectives as possible gives us sort of the greatest chance to really serve these young people.